Hey guys, zpolt here and I'm back for another video, and today we're gonna check out the first BQEYZ here in the channel, and we're gonna start with their current flagship, the Spring 1. This is a 3 driver per side system, 1 BA, 1 dynamic driver, and 1 piezo driver. So that is very nice for, you know, a flagship to have a piezo driver. This is around $140, so it's in the TFZ number 3 kind of range. We're gonna compare it to those IEMs as well. Okay, so first I want to show you guys the unboxing experience because it's a very nice box. It says Spring 1, and look at, you know, that kind of design. It's kind of a car design. At the side you have 43 ohm impedance, 108 dB, 7 to 40K, 1.2 meter cable, and 0.7 to 8 2-pin connector. Alright, so at the other side it says 3 hybrid in-ear monitor, piezo, electric, dynamic, and balanced armature. Opening it up, right, and you have another box, and you do have a kind of cabinet inside, and you're greeted with the IEM right away. Of course, I already have it, but I just want to show you guys the unboxing experience. So putting it aside, you also have a case, actually a nice feeling case with the BQEYZ logo. Kind of feels like a full leather, and you do also have quite a number of tips. You have foam tips, which is also in the case, which is very nice. You do have a kind of metal with the tips, and I also already got the medium tips, and it says reference and also atmosphere. So maybe there's more for the soundstage and there's more for, you know, kind of a balanced sound with the reference. So that is what I used for this test, and not a lot in the box, of course. And we're gonna go with the IEM now. Actually, this is a very nice unboxing experience overall. Alright, so looking at the IEM, let's start with the cable. So the cable is what looks to be like an 8-core cable, which is nice. So that is what I kind of expect, especially in that price range. So you do have a straight cable with a BQEYZ. The cable actually is kind of pliable. It's very similar to what I got with the Yinyu 8-core, which is one of my favorite cables. This is a little bit stiffer compared to the Yinyu 8-core, but it is kind of very similar to that. The fork part is actually quite a thick fork, and you do also have an organizer. And definitely I do like that all black design that kind of looks upscale for me. I do like an all black design always in my IEMs. So it has also preformed ear hooks, which is nice, though they have this kind of plastic outside, which is not something I'm a fan of. Of course, in this price range, I kind of expect that it's already like sort of integrated in the cable itself. So that is one minor con here. And now getting to the build itself. So it's kind of, as I mentioned, a car kind of build. So it's black and gold, which is something I like. It does have a small Spring 1 logo here at the top, but it's very minimalist in design. So it's metal in build. It also feels good in the hand. It has some weight to it also. Here at the side, you have a metal build also. And you don't have fins, but you do have that kind of a default shape of an IEM. Actually, in terms of the metal build, this kind of feels like the TRN V90 in a way. Kind of very similar with the V90. In terms of looks, I do like the look overall because it's an all-black design. The gold accent is not, you know, super in your face, which is something I like. I like a more kind of understated design. So it's a kind of in a more above average kind of look for me. It's not, you know, the most blingy look or the most impressive look that I have seen, especially in this price range. It's just all right for me. Above average in terms of look, there's no issue for me. So in terms of isolation, this doesn't isolate that well. This is just in the average to below average in terms of the isolation. In terms of fit, this does fit well for me. That ear hooks definitely helps in making it more stable on the ear. In terms of comfort, I would say this is not the most comfortable fit on the ear that I have ever worn. It's just average to below average for me. The tips that they included is not, you know, super duper soft. You still need to adjust it from time to time. So yeah, that is something for you guys to note. Right now, let's go to the sound. So what makes the Spring 1 different? So firstly, this is a very fast IEM. This is one of the fastest that I've heard, especially in that price range. Because of that piezo driver on top, this has a lot of micro detail and very fast on top. So for string instruments or guitar instruments, it just really shines there. The picking technique, the micro detail there in the guitars just really shines with the Spring 1. So if you're listening to a lot of those music, maybe this is something that you can pick up. It's just enjoyable for those music. So definitely that is one of the key strengths with this one, is a very fast IEM on top. So it's a V-shaped sounding IEM. It also has, again, clarity on top in terms of the measurements. It also dry sounding in general, more in the clean side. So definitely that BA and piezo on top just makes this a very clean sounding, especially in the mids and highs department. So it's also a lively sounding IEM overall. So the highs here are well extended, can have some sibilance for treble sensitive people because it's that extended on top, or maybe fatiguing sounding. It has a lot of shimmer, definitely very lively highs here. However, this has a bit of peakiness in the highs sometimes, especially in the cymbals, and that makes some cymbals a bit thin for me. Still one of the strength, I'd say, of the Spring 1. I would still give it high marks here with the highs because this is a very fast highs. So definitely if you love highs and the fast highs and that, maybe this is something that you can pick up. In terms of mids, the mids here is one of the weaknesses of the Spring 1. It's a bit more laid back, and again, with the measurements, this very V-shaped. I'd say it's around 10 dB V-shape. The mids are definitely recessed in the mix. It's also in the clean side and also thin side. So definitely this is not, you know, a super in-your-face kind of mids. If you're into mids, this is not something that you want to pick up. Bass is in the boomy side. The attack is fast, but the decay is a bit slow. So it's not, you know, super duper boomy in your face, but definitely present in the mix because yeah, the mids are recessed here. The bass just shines a bit because of that, you know, mids recession. So it's a little bit forward bass because of that, you know, recessed mids, but this is definitely not for bass heads. It's not overpowering at all in terms of the mids department. It's still well controlled in the bass department. So I would still give it high marks here with the bass. Detail wise, this is where the Spring 1 shines. Again, with the piezo driver on top, it just retrieves detail really well. So detail retrieval here is really good. Response is also pretty fast. Again, one of the fastest that I've heard in the price range. Or if you're into that, maybe this is something that you can pick up. Soundstage here is above average, not the most expensive, just alright enough. Especially for a casual listen. Imaging again is just average to above average for me, not, you know, super black and white. Separation is also just alright, due to the just okay. Imaging is just okay. Soundstage also, separation is not super duper good, just alright here with the Spring 1. Alright, so compared to the TFZ number 3, the TFZ number 3 definitely is more bassy compared to the Spring 1. In terms of sound, TFZ number 3 is smoother in comparison to this one. The Spring 1 is drier in comparison. The sound is more rich across the range with the TFZ number 3. More body in the TFZ number 3 compared to the Spring 1. Again, the Spring 1 is a more clean sounding. The stage is a touch bigger in the TFZ number 3. Imaging is also a bit better in the TFZ number 3. The bass is definitely more boomy in the TFZ number 3. So for bass heads, TFZ number 3 might be for you. So overall, these two are definitely sort of in the opposite part of the spectrum. This drier sounding, not super bassy. The TFZ number 3 is smoother sounding and also more bassy. So it's a different part of the spectrum. So I would say for me, they're just kind of tied. It will be up to you what you like in the end. So overall, in terms of sound, is definitely for those people who love fast highs. So coupled with above average sound stage and nice detail across the range, it's definitely nice for maybe some, again, acoustic music, strings music, maybe some guitar instrumental or classical guitar instrumental are very nice with this. So if you're into those kinds of music, this definitely shines on that kind of genres. However, for me, yes, the mids are a bit too recessed for me. So for some music, this may sound a bit thin, especially for some metal music or djent music. This may sound thin on those kinds of genres. Right, so verdict for the Spring 1 overall, this is kind of a unique product in a sense because it has that piezo driver on top. So it has a different experience when you're listening to it because of, you know, the super fast highs on top, and especially in that price range. So I would say for a piezo driver IEM, this is good sounding for me. There's no weirdness in the spectrum. It just sounds alright. Definitely if you're into kind of that piezo sound, maybe this is something that you can pick up. Just take note of the cons that I mentioned here. The mids are a bit recessed for me. So if you're okay with that, maybe this is something that you can pick up. This is actually very interesting to listen to for orchestra music. And again, some guitar tracks is very interesting because the micro detail just shines there. So yeah, this kind of a unique lesson for me, and I would gladly take this if I'm gonna listen to those kinds of tracks. But of course, if you guys are looking for a more versatile IEM, one that performs in all genres, there are other IEMs that I can recommend here in this channel. Alright, so that is my review. If you learned something, of course, leave a like. And have you heard of the BQEYZ Spring 1? What do you think of them? And of course, I already did a sound test of it down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the Spring 1 down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.